Y'all, let's make a buttermilk pie. Listen, this is my favorite pie. There's no special meaning behind this pie. There's no family story to go with it. My daddy would have loved this pie. He was gone years and years before I learned how to make this pie. It's my favorite pie. It's my daughter's favorite pie. And I thought I want to give y'all some recipes that are so easy, but also so delicious that you can use for Thanksgiving. So if you've never heard of a buttermilk pie, someone asked me one time, is it the same as a chess pie? I'd say it's a cousin of a chess pie, because a chess pie, has cornmeal in it, and of course a buttermilk pie does not. So there's a little bit of a difference, and they're both delicious, but this one's my favorite. And listen, you're not even going to need a crust. This is going to be the easiest pie you've ever made. It's just sweet, and if it's one of those pies that everybody loves, because if you make a fancy pie that's got cinnamon or clove or any of those things, and it's maybe someone doesn't like cinnamon, or they don't, this is sugar butter milk. That's it. I mean, it is the easiest, most delicious, but also decadent pie you're ever gonna make. So let's do it. Okay, so in your bowl, you're gonna put 1.5 cups of sugar and 1/2 cup of biscuit, or any kind of biscuit mix, and 1/3 cup of melted butter. This all just gets mixed together. This is just gonna be a one bowl thing. And then you're gonna put 3 eggs. Just so you don't have to beat them or anything. I'm telling you, this is the easiest recipe you're ever gonna make. And then you just need 1 cup of buttermilk. And then just a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't measure my vanilla because I don't. That was probably more than a teaspoon, but it's still gonna be good. Like I said, nobody has ever said, "Ooh, there's too much vanilla in that." All right, then we're just gonna mix it up. That's it. You're gonna mix it on high put it on low when you first start mixing so it doesn't fly everywhere. Then put it on high for about, 30 seconds, and it's done. I mean, it's not done, but it's ready to be poured into the pan. Like I said, you're not gonna use a crust or anything. You're gonna take a pie pan, spray it generously with some ham, and pour it in there. It kind of forms its own little crust. I'll show you. Had to get me a spatula and get all the goodness out. And that's it. And this is gonna go in your oven at 350 for 50 minutes. And when it comes out, you'll just do the little toothpick thing. If the toothpick comes out clean, you'll know it's done. But I've never had to do it more or less than 50 minutes. So I'm putting it in there and we'll be back. And there it is. Y'all, I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. It is absolutely divine. That is just my favorite pie ever, and I love the smell. It's so simple. It's so simple to make, but it's also simple tasting. It's just a little piece of sweet goodness. But anyway, I'm gonna let that cool for a minute, and then I'm gonna cut it, and we're gonna try it together. But I wanted to take just 1 minute. I know I'm not supposed to stay forever and talk forever, but I wanted to answer someone's question. If I had been able to locate her comment, I would have put it on this video. But somebody asked me a question, and she said she had seen my video that I made yesterday about my daddy putting my brother and I in the children's home. And then she'd also seen the video where I was talking fondly about him in my fudge recipe video. And she said she wanted to know how I could have ever had a relationship with him as an adult after all the things that he'd done when I was a child, or not done really. And I thought about it last night, and I thought I'm gonna answer her here and answer it for any of y'all that might have had that same question. I think as children, when we first get here on this earth, the only people that we know are our parents, and the only thing we love is our parents, and we expect and long for that love back. And that's all I ever did. I think my mom loved us, or I know she did. She just couldn't know how to show it. And I know my daddy loved us too, but he wanted to move on with his life, whatever. But I think my whole life, all I wanted was for them, to love me. And and I know that he did, but he never showed it. But when I got married and had my first baby, I don't know, something changed, and he loved me, and he showed that he loved me, and he was sorry. There was no grand gesture, there was no apology, there was nothing. He just loved me. He showed me. He loved my food. He loved my gumbo. It was his gumbo. It's his gumbo recipe. We're gonna make it. But he tasted it. I remember when he tasted it the first time, he said, "This is better than anything I've ever made." And things like that just made my heart swell, because I loved him and I wanted him to love me. And then once he did, there was no I didn't need anything else. I didn't need an apology. I just was so happy that he loved me. So that was that. And I'm that way with everybody. I listen, I'm a Scorpio. I said that. And I am my mother's daughter, so I have a temper. And if you mess with me or my family in any way, I'm walking out the door, never looking back. And listen, I'm gonna tear some stuff up on the way out. Y'all see me as a sweet little person making some stuff here, but I can be mean, and I can walk away and never look back. I've always said that, and I think that's a character flaw, but I think it comes from what I've been through in my life. But once I loved you, I hold space in my heart for you, and if you want to come back and you're sorry, I want you back. That's the thing. I don't hold a grudge. I can walk away and never look back, but I also don't hold a grudge. So for, if someone's missing from my life that I loved, I'm always going to love them. And if they want to come back and be part of me in my life again, I want that too, because when you love somebody, you love somebody. So there's no grudges. If they're sorry and they want back in my life, they can come back in my life, and I'll never think of it again, because why? Anyway, that's that. Let's cut this pie and get a taste. It's hot, y'all, but that's when it's the best to me. Now, you can put, the first time I ever had it, one of my sweet friends made it for me years ago, probably 20 years ago, and she put some little strawberries over the top of it, or you could put anything. It's going to break up a little bit when it's hot, but you can put anything on it or nothing on it, and I like nothing on it because I love the taste of this pie so much that I don't need anything else on it. So that's what it looks like. And like I said, it broke up a little bit because I'm cutting it before I should, because really it needs to cool off a little bit, but I love it warm. So y'all need to do this pie. I promise you, you'll be the head of the party. I'm always saying that, but you want to be, don't you? Sweet, creamy, buttery. Not a little bit like custard, but not. You know what I'm saying? I can't even explain that. I gotta have another bite. Y'all gonna make this pie. You'll be so glad you did.